Denchuk. I work at the Norwood YMCA Child Care. My children are ages 5 and 2 years old. They attend here with me in the child care. Originally, I got this opportunity through McEwen to get involved with the YMCA, and my children, Meadow and Haven, they both got the opportunity to attend at the Castle Downs YMCA Center. And they were very happy, and then I had some other changes in my life, so then I had to get a job and a lot of things were happening. Basically, my situation was just really stressful. I wasn't really sure what I was going to be doing at that point. I was on income support and they weren't willing to support me anymore. I was looking for work, but with COVID it was quite difficult. So I was expressing my problems that I was having in my life, and at that point Brianna and Brandy, they came to me, well, Stephanie also, they came to me with some options that I had that would be of interest of me, and it was definitely a great opportunity, and of course I took it.
I first met Shaylee through Brittany Ammett, who is a senior manager with Grant MacEwan University. She had Shaylee enrolled in her program and was looking for a connection in her community because Shaylee was struggling with transportation and needed somewhere closer to home for her children. Shaylee approached Brianna, who's the program director at Castle Downs, and myself about withdrawing Haven from childcare. Meadow had already left and she just couldn't afford the fees that had gone up after we were no longer receiving the government grant for $25 a day childcare. The first thing I thought is, what can we do as the YMCA to support her as a parent? So we talked to Shaylee about a few different options. The first was employment at YMCA Norwood being a possibility. The next thing was her considering the Norwood housing as a subsidized housing facility and getting her connected with that. And the third was putting Haven in YMCA Norwood Child Care because they are receiving the grant extension from the government of Alberta. So Shaylee, from what I understand, has had a very traumatic history in her life. She's experienced some abuse in her life and didn't have a lot of supports in place or a lot of community connections. So I talked to her a little bit about our YMCA giving at the time as well, because she was struggling financially and we were looking for different ways that we could support her. And I was also able to connect her with our family support worker at the time, who was able to provide her with other resources in our community.
They just helped me out a lot. Their support staff there that they had, she helped me a lot too with many things regarding housing, child support, everything. Like, you wouldn't even think she would even help me with. I don't know, I just feel like since being in the Y, my children have really enjoyed their time, even with me not being there, me not being able to experience what's going on inside. I've never had any complaints, and that's the biggest thing for me, and that makes me feel really safe. I feel like if I had not been referred to the YMCA, then we would be in a much different situation. My daughters wouldn't have the same development. Every day they still get those social interactions with their friends and they get to hang out and play and have fun. And at home, I mean, of course I can do that with them, but I can only do so much. With them being at the Y, it helps me a lot.
Shaylee and her daughters have grown exponentially. I've seen a really big change. I've really seen her grow, and she has a more open mind, and she's established trust in us and in her greater community. And she has grown as an individual because we've also invested in her lifelong education and growing with the YMCA.
Life without the Y would just be boring. I'd be back at home. I'd be constantly anxious and thinking about what I was going to do next. And that's not something I really wanted for my life. It was always a very stressful situation. I wanted to pursue my education here. That's exactly what I'm doing.
Making a difference in Shaylee's life was so important to me because she just needed that person to see her and to meet her where she was at. And I'm so proud of Shaylee now for taking those steps in her growth and development. It's really brave for a person to break down those walls in their life and to be open and transparent with someone that they hardly know. She has been taking really big steps to develop herself as an individual, and I can see her willingness to learn and grow, which is why I was driven to help her and just be that person that can make a change in her life. The YMCA is an organization that's charitable, as many know, but a lot of people don't really know how that impacts our community. So in my experience, I'm able to see our footprint grow bigger and bigger in our community through the donations that we receive. Every dollar counts, and even though you might not be able to see that impact physically as an individual, I can speak from experience that I really see that impact in our community and in everyone's lives.